The Big Red Classic is part of the tournament trail on Lake Michigan. It's a salmon fishing tournament. It's one of 11 tournaments that happen on the lake. It's the second largest tournament on Lake Michigan, hosted by Yacht Basin Marina that does just a great job offering us their facilities and their marina. The Big Red Classic is headed up by the Big Red Foundation. The Big Red Foundation was formed in 2009, and it was formed to improve the fishery in Holland, improve the fishery in Lake Michigan, and give back to the community.
Save the Tatas is a day of fishing for women, and we bring young ladies out to give them the experience of fishing in Lake Michigan. We also raise money for the Breast Care Fund.
It's important to Yacht Basin Marina and our employees to support the breast cancer and Save the Tatas. Many of us have had loved ones that have experienced breast cancer. It's a cause that's dear to our hearts that we feel needs support, and that's why we enjoy supporting it here for the Big Red Classic and the Save the Tatas.
So the Big Red Classic has been around for many years. It started as the Big Dutchman Classic in '91. I was 4 years old, have been around since the beginning of the tournament. Started helping sell ice as a young guy, and have watched it evolve over the years, and it's been a lot of fun. Even though we don't fish, this is a important tournament for the area. We're proud of our facility here and love hosting this.
Part of my role at the hospital in leading the organization is to make sure we're living out our mission. And our mission is to improve the health of the community we serve. And one of the ways we do that is by improving access to care for folks. And so the Breast Care Fund is one of those vehicles that we've established through our community outreach efforts to support women in the community who might not otherwise have access to those important preventative breast care services.
One of the most difficult things is that patients who don't have the financial services and insurance to get breast care do not come to seek breast care at Holland Hospital. So they may wait until they're experiencing a clinical problem and their breast cancer may be more advanced and more difficult to treat. It's an important way to get the word out about the Breast Care Fund so that we can help these women access care when they need it.
The donations obviously go to help serve more women get this life-saving care. But more so, it's increasing awareness about the Breast Care Fund and making sure that people both know that it's a possibility for their philanthropic efforts, but more so to let women know that it's there and available to help them if they need it.
I think a couple of key things about the Breast Care Fund is that it's easy to kind of stereotype and categorize who you think might be using the Breast Care Fund. But in reality, these are your neighbors. They're people you interact with in the community. A favorite story that I have was from last year's tournament. We had a brief time of giving a presentation about what the fund covers and just thanking the participants for their support. And afterwards, someone came up and said, I just got to thank you so much for having the Breast Care Fund because a few years ago I had been laid off and I was uninsured. I went to my regular doctor's appointment and I had a lump and that progressed and I needed additional services and I couldn't afford them. And the Breast Care Fund was there for me and took me through all the way up through the biopsy and the treatment that I needed. And she said, now I'm gainfully employed and just honored to be a participant in the tournament and support the Breast Care Fund because I know the impact that it has on people in our community.
The Breast Care Fund is so useful for patients that are undergoing these stressful times in their life where, they might not perceive pursuing a further workup if they think it might be benign and they might not go that extra step. And really having the funds available, donated from people in the community and big events like this, these fishing tournaments and everything that our community does for our hospital and for our patients is so important for them to know that they've got the care that they need.
It's amazing that we can offer this to patients, and it just takes such a load off of their shoulders to know that they're not going to have to pay for a lot of these services. So it's amazing. And I'm the lucky one that gets to call them and tell them that the Breast Care Fund will be able to help them out. So it's just amazing.